just don't. They left their body. And so, like I said, in a certain setting, then I would pray for the person, and I would call in certain angelic beings that I feel like I'll usually get an intuitive hit, like I'm working with Archangel Michael or I'm working with Elijah is usually a good angels for retreat, and they kind of serve as a branch of me, and they can go throughout the universe and look for the parts. I'll hear like this person has 3 parts missing. It could be an accident happen. Where it gets complicated is sometimes a grandmother holding one of the parts, and then you have to have a conversation with her and see if she needs something. Sometimes it can take an extra 30 minutes to an hour just to work with that one piece because it's attached to a story with the grandmother. And whole healing exchange between their ancestor and the body and the person that's on the table.
I have amazing. This is crazy because it means that like what you're saying is in line with polyvagal theory and the idea that we store trauma in our nervous system, right? And that the dissociation that we experience in younger life to protect us from what's happening during traumatic events. That's a known thing, like, and that it does splinter off parts of our soul, like, and leaves it behind. I was not aware. I've never heard of that about the ancestor possibly taking it, and I'm wondering, are you saying that they're like a deceased ancestor, like that's holding it? So that's, is it? I mean, why are they trying to transmute it themselves, or is it like a secret? Is it, what kind of vibe do you get off of that?
What I find a lot of times, I do a lot of barter with other advanced healers and work with Akashic records, and sometimes I'm working with someone who's already a really high level established healer, and so you have to do a lot of ancestral work with them. Like I had a lady, I won't say her name, but she's a really high level. She was a witch in a past life, and she was living in an inherited house, and one of her pieces was being kept by the grandmother, and we had to have this whole conversation with the grandmother. I'm trying to remember exactly how it went, but that person needed a lot of healing, so you had to spend a lot of time with them because it was affecting how she was the healer was living in currently, and how she inherited it, and the patterns that she inherited as well.
Right. So that's like literally inherited. So that inherited trauma through our DNA is also at play here too, it sounds like, which is fascinating to me. That's truly interesting. I had never thought about that. I would think that an ancestor would be trying to protect, and maybe with their, flawed way of doing it for whatever reason, like they're trying to protect their current ancestors, from the pain of it. So they're holding on to it, but likely it sounds like they're probably traumatized themselves, so that they're just trying to like kind of take it in because they've already had that wound, right? And then there, people identify with those wounds very much. It becomes very much a part of our identity, even though it's a negative thing. It's like